and today I am making the most delicious blackberry plum pepper jam. So it's gonna have habanero peppers, jalapeno peppers, and maybe some serrano peppers out of the garden. Anyway, I'm doing this. It's gonna have 4 habanero peppers with the seeds gone. Okay, seeds and membrane out. Whenever you're dealing with these peppers, even just the milder ones, if you're gonna do a lot of them, wear gloves because they will tend to make your hands very sensitive. So this batch is gonna be so delicious. And it'll be good to serve during the holidays over cream cheese or to make a molten brie with this on top, with the brie cheese and the pepper jelly on top. It's so delicious, wrapped in puff pastry. That's what I'll be having. Anyways, you can also just serve it with plain cream cheese and, oh, I guess I should cut this one too. Cream cheese and have it over crackers. That's a lot of people do that. I do it. It's an easy hors d'oeuvre during the holidays, and I'm not so worried about all the seeds getting out, as I just don't like that pith as much. So anyway, so I've got fresh plums off of my daughter's neighbor's tree, and Patty, if you're watching, thank you. And I also, my friend, I went to her house and picked blackberries this morning. So I have this big, beautiful 8 cups of blackberries that I'm gonna use. And then I've got plums. I've got another container of plums in the refrigerator. So it's just gonna be a jam day. So we're gonna make jam for gifts and for using throughout the year while the berries are in season and they're ripe and, you know, free fruit. All I'm paying for is some sugar and some pectin if I decide to use it. I could do this with no pectin, but I haven't decided if I'm gonna do that. I think I'm just gonna go the easy route and go, yeah, we'll do some pectin. So I do have to go out to the garden and pick a couple of my serrano peppers. Oh, my mouth is watering just thinking about this stuff. And I'll put those little peppers, they're small, so I'll put those in whole without the seeds out. I'll just cut them up. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna use my Tupperware little mini chopper to get these chopped up. The whole thing is gonna end up pureed, so it doesn't matter if you've got uniform dice. If I was doing one of my clear jellies and I want the individual pieces to float, then that's different. Whew, I can smell the capsaicin and it smells delicious. I love habanero. Number one, it just has a different flavor to it and a different heat profile. It's wonderful in jellies, especially if you're gonna cook with them. Savory jams are wonderful to glaze meats with, to do all that. So let me bring you in close and we'll keep on cutting and chopping. Okay, so I've got my peppers going down in here. I went out and picked and washed 4. These are little serrano peppers. I'm gonna leave them whole, seeds and all. Oh my goodness. Yeah, they're hot. They're delicious though. So, no worries. Okay. And you see, I'm not that careful with the jalapenos either. Pepper jam is so good. So, I'm gonna do 2 batches. And the second batch, maybe I will do it without pectin and just cook it down until it's jam. But jam is so good because I've got enough here to do 2 batches of blackberry plum jam. It's so forgiving because honestly, you can just cook it down and you don't even need pectin. And I will be, like I said, using the immersion blender, so I'm good with that. Let's go ahead and get the last of the peppers. And I felt like blackberries and plums, they're delicious together. Why not make jam? Right? Anyway, all right. How quick and easy was that? Okay, I'm not gonna worry about the rest of that. Whew, I can smell that. It's very hot. It's making me want to cough. The capsaicin in there. So that's about what you got. A pile of peppers in there. Now I'm going to finish getting my plums cut up. Now I've washed these plums. Cut off any weird spots like that is a little odd. Just go right down the seam and you can cut them in half. You don't really have to. These are going to cook down, like I said. But I want 6 cups of these and 4 cups of blackberries, because these will cook down and so will the blackberries. And in all, you're going to have the perfect amount of fruit. So, yummy. Okay, whoops, I just threw the seed in there. Okay, let's do this. I'll just keep going. Okay, so I did want to let you know I'm going to add lemon juice. This adds a tartness, but it also adds a little bit more acidic value to it. And you need that because you're adding the non-acidic jalapenos, even though the sugar is going to help. But okay, so this really has to cook down for a while till those plums are nice and soft and you can smash them, and I can get that immersion blender in here and blend it up, because I want this to be a smooth jam that everybody's gonna go, ooh, what is that? All right, I'll be back. Okay, so I am ready. I've got my peppers in here. Whew. I've got my plums. This is 6 cups of chopped up plums like that. Close to 8, but these are gonna cook down. You know, most of this is fruit mashes. I'm gonna add half of my 8 cups of blackberries. So, oh, I gotta be ever so stingy with them because, oops, make sure as you're getting those in there that if you see any, I mean, I wash these really good, but if you see any foreign matter, get it out of there, because blackberries are notorious for holding on to that. So, go ahead and get those out. Okay, still need some more. And there's another stem still hanging on. And let's see, are we down to 4? Almost, because I want enough for a second batch. Healthy, delicious. Okay, I see a leaf in here. Or is that, nope, that's jalapeno. Okay, we are good to go. And this is gonna make this jam that beautiful dark purple color. It's gonna be delicious. So let's go to the stove. I'm gonna go ahead and use pectin. So I'm going to put a box of pectin down. And if you've never made jams or jellies, this pectin will go down in the beginning. Then once I get the fruit broken down and it's boiling, and it's boiled for a few minutes till I feel like it's nice and soft, then I'll go ahead and add my sugar, bring it back up to a rolling boil that I can't stir down, and then you let it go for 1 minute. And at 1 minute, oh my goodness, you get to start bottling it up. My jars are in the dishwasher on the sanitized. I've already washed and boiled the jars. You want to make sure that they are sterile, so you need to boil them in a water bath canner for 10 minutes, and then I run them through the sanitized session of the dishwasher anyway, so they're nice and hot. Or you could just leave them in the water bath canner. I'm going to save these berries for my next recipe. I hope you guys come along for that, because it's going to be delicious. Let's go to the stove. Okay, so as you can see, this has come up to a boil, but I want to boil it until the plums, I can smash them and they're really soft, so they're ready for the immersion blender. But isn't that gorgeous already? Oh, it's going to be so beautiful. And because it's half plum, half blackberry, there won't be quite as many seeds in it. Now, If you're a seed snob and you don't want seeds in your berry jam, you can put this through the food mill with the berry strainer on it. I do have the Victorio strainer, but if I had 20 pounds of blackberries, then I probably would do that. Or if this was all blackberries, I'd either strain some or put it through the food mill. But I'm not going to worry about it because the seeds don't bother me one little bit, and I can smell the capsaicin in this. So right now this is super tart and hot, spicy hot and lava hot, because it's got no sugar in it yet. I'm just going to continue to cook it, and as soon as it's ready to use the immersion blender, I will bring you back and show you that, and then we'll add the sugar. Oh, and it'll almost be time for jam. Okay, so this is cooked. I can smash the plums now. It's cooked for about 15 minutes, which is about normal. Oh boy, this is gonna be wonderful. It looks so pretty. I am so thankful that I got all this fruit. So just go ahead and wazz it up. Be careful though, don't get it on yourself. So I put some of the jelly in this cold dish, and you can see, I think it's going to set up just fine. It's still warm, but it's starting to set, and it is delicious. Oh, I'm super excited. So I've got this pot down here and these jars are hot. I'm going to do some little 4 ounce jars. Because what happens is, if I give away too many of the tall ones, I don't have them for holiday gifts. So this way they can just have a little sneak peek, and if they're really good, they might get some for Christmas. Anyway, the other part of that is, you get 1/4 of an inch of headspace. The other part of that idea is, it's not a big deal if I don't get my jar back. So, that being said, I've got my canner sitting at 180 degrees, and I've got my lids over here, and I still heat my lids up. Go ahead and wipe the, well, that could use a little bit more, because since they're only getting a little bitty jar, they might want more, right? So go ahead, 1/4 of an inch. Don't cheat anybody out of any of the jam. And that's why I put a towel down, because I always get a spot. Okay, so we're gonna get a flat, and I use all disposable lids for jams, because if I give it away, I'm not giving away a Tatler lid. Fingertip tight, and that got on the side of the jar too. So, and in the canner it goes to wait for the rest of the jars. But isn't that pretty? I don't know if you can see how pretty. It's just a deep red color, and you can see the seeds from the jalapenos, or the serrano peppers, as well as the seeds from the blackberries. So it's pretty, it's interesting, and it's gonna be. And it is so good. I'm here to tell you, it's delicious. I have several things that I'll be doing with it throughout the holiday season. So that's all I'm gonna do, is keep filling these jars and get it in the water bath canner. It's gonna process for 10 minutes. And then once it comes up to a boil in the canner, it'll process for 10 minutes. Once that happens, I'll turn the canner off, take the lid off, and let it sit for 5 minutes. That's part of your processing time, so don't leave that out. All right, I'll be back when I let you know how many jars we got, because this is a pretty big batch of jam, or jelly, whatever you want to call it. Okay guys, so my jam is done. It's been in the canner. Once it came up to a boil, I did it for 10 minutes. Then I turned it off, took the lid off, and it's been sitting there for about 7 minutes, honestly. So I have a beautiful, beautiful, delicious jam. And now I'm gonna take these jars out, and I'll get a close-up probably in the morning, so you can see it with the light shining through it. It's a deep, dark red. It's absolutely beautiful. It will look gorgeous over a brick of cream cheese, over the top of a wheel of brie wrapped in puff pastry, and the jam just kind of bubbling out. Let me just tell you, that's delicious on a plate. And everyone is gonna enjoy it. So I got, out of this batch, I got four 4-ounce jars. And this is 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 12-ounce jars and 4 little 4-ounce jars. That's a big batch of jam. So I'm excited. The 4-ounce jars will definitely come in handy as little gifts and little teasers, and I just stack those in the canner. So I try not to tip my jars. I've pretty much broken that habit. I used to tip them all the time. Don't tip your jars because until they seal, they're venting air, and if you tip them, then they could vent the product, which could prevent it from sealing. But honestly, jars always seal, for me anyway. I have a very low failure rate for the most part. So there you go. I will get some pictures for you. I hope it inspires you to try your hand at home canning. I've got 2 more canning projects coming up here in the next couple of days. I get a couple days off, and so I'm gonna take advantage of it, and I'm gonna do a pineapple pepper jelly for you. I'm also gonna be canning mushrooms because I am out in my home can pantry, and I like canning my own. It's easy. I can buy the mushrooms, I hand pick them, I know how fresh they are. They aren't something that was, you know, in a big old tub at the factory. You know, anybody that's worked in one of those facilities at a cannery, they use everything. They don't care if it's kind of old. They really don't. I was talking to a friend today, and she used to work where they make strawberry jam. She said she wouldn't eat strawberries because they threw the good, the bad, and the ugly in there. And so, anyway. You at home have the choice to only use the very, very best. And all of our canning books actually tell us to only use the very best. So I'm gonna let these jars cool. I will store them without the rings. I never feel like there's a need to wash jelly jars, but if I take that ring off and there's something sticky, I'll go ahead and wash it. But I store them without the rings. When I give them away though, I put the ring back on, because how are they gonna store it once they open it? All right, guys, I can't wait to see you next time for another delicious recipe, and or, because I'm gonna show you some stuff to make with this that is not just putting it on a cracker and cream cheese. So stay tuned for that, and if there's any canning recipes you'd like to see, you need to let me know in the comment section below. And yeah, all right, I got to get busy. I got a lot of cleanup